breaking news in the Big 12. Kansas State women's basketball player Ayoka Lee, who is 6'6" at center, is out for this season because she will have to have knee surgery and she'll miss this upcoming season. This is according to ESPN, and Jeff Mittie announced that today. She was a second team All-America selection by the Associated Press last season. So, and remember, last year she scored 61 points in a game against Oklahoma. And this is a big loss once I explain the numbers. 22 points per game, 10.3 rebounds per game, 1.2 steals per game, 2.9 blocks per game. She only committed 1.5 turnovers per game. She fouled like 3.1 fouls per game. No threes attempted, of course, with that size. But 135 for 175 on free throws, which is 77.1%, which is pretty good for a post player. She's the leading scorer by far on that team. By far. Because the next closest, 11.4 points per game less. Less than 12 points for sure from the next leading scorer. And they only had 2 double-digit scores last year. She was one of them. So, I don't know what they're going to do. They were looking to get back to the NCAA tournament. Back-to-back seasons here. That could be out of the picture. But we'll have to wait and see because of that schedule and how they do during the year. Sure, they got Taylor Lauterbach at 6'7" as a junior. But the problem is, she didn't do much last year off the bench. So that's a problem. But they do have some transfers, and like Gisela Sanchez at 6'3". Sure, they even got a freshman, Eliza Maupin, 6'3" at forward. Heavenly Greer, who did not play last year, from Oklahoma at 6'3". But the problem is, I don't know. They're nothing like Ayoka Lee, I don't think. And Sarah Shimatesi from LSU as a transfer at 6'2" as a forward. So, bear with me. They have to pretty much, whatever their plan was for this year, in terms of how they're going to run their offense, it's going to have to be guard oriented. That's what it seems like to me. Because losing somebody like that big, and they play that zone defense in her in the middle, they could still play zone, and they were around a 32 team last year. Keep that in mind. And they played NC State, but they lost by 32. But in the regular season, they lost by a little bit less. So it was not like spectacular. They just bring back Serena Sundell. That's 10.6 points per game. So as you can tell, it's a very big drop off. But then they have Breeley Glenn at 8.2 points per game. So if they're going to go with guard oriented, they only had like 1-2 players above 30% from 3 last year. But if you want to include Breeley Glenn, she was 27.2% from 3. Or even, Emily Ebert as well, which was not really great. 8 last year from 3, statistically, like 27.7% from 3, and only averaged 5.8 points per game. But they do bring back Jalen Glenn at 6.6 points per game. Laura Mack is gone. I'm pretty sure she's gone. Yeah, she's gone. Rebecca Dollinger, she's back. I believe 3.6 points per game, but 24.1% from three. So they need to figure out their offensive identity, because to me that was their identity last year. Give her the ball. And then last year they were better, and like they gave it to her when they're supposed to. Now I don't know who their option is going to be. And to tell you the truth, on Taylor Loudbox, she only averaged 1.4 points per game last year, and that's in 31 games. Only played 7.9 minutes per game. So yeah, Simone Goodrich is gone, and from last year they do have a transfer, Gabby Gregory from Oklahoma, who didn't play as much because of injury last year, so she could step up. So, because I know in the past she was good at Oklahoma, but still, this is a big blow for the team, and we'll have to wait and see on their schedule, which I don't believe they have released it out yet. Oh, they actually have. So, the first game is against Wisconsin. First regular season game is against Central Arkansas. I think in theory, the first game is Central Arkansas, like I said, November 7th. Wisconsin is November 11th. Iowa is going to be difficult for them to beat, and that's even at home, November 17th. Then they play UTGRV at home November 18th, but Utah Tech November 20th. Then there's Paradise Jam, where they play Clemson, Northern Arizona, Arkansas. Arkansas is going to be better this year, I think. December 4th, they're going to play Houston. December 7th against Kansas City. December 10th, South Dakota State. They're a dangerous team in the past. They have been, I believe. Northern Colorado, December 18th. Morgan State, December 21st. That's their non-conference games. I just want to go over those non-con games. And they do have practice games against Fort Hays State and Newman. So, Fort Hays State is October 31st. Newman is November 4th. So, their non-con is not like daunting, I don't think, by any stretch. But I don't know if they're going to be as good now without Ayoka Lee. And Ayoka Lee could have been a first-round WNBA draft pick next year. So, I don't know whether or not she will go enter the WNBA draft after the season's done for everybody, for them. I'm not sure if she will. Or will she come back for one more year and then go to the WNBA? Because she's definitely going to be old enough and has enough years of eligibility playing to be a WNBA draft pick. And this player, what I'm talking about, she's the biggest mismatch nightmare out there in the post in terms of size and physicality. Because, like I said, she scored 61 against Oklahoma. The only way to beat her, really, is to wear her out with, like, fast break, run and gun type of offense, and just try to speed the game up, wear her out. And I know the second meeting against Baylor, they did that, and they caused her some issues and foul trouble as well, and they had nowhere to go. So, anyways, I just want to break this news down because it is pretty significant news based on the numbers, like I said. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into 400 subscribers and more by the end of this year.